Good afternoon, everyone. How is everyone doing today on Transformational Tuesday? You know what that means yet again. It is going to be a great and engaging conversation with us today on Sharing Care at BHT, the video experience. And we're going to have part two to our great impromptu discussion that we had last Friday about does conversations lead us to act? And this is going to be like part two in and of itself, and we may even have a part three. So we'll just see how things go with it today, and we'll roll with it. So we're just so humbled and honored to have each and every single one of you here today. We're live on Facebook and of course on LinkedIn and also on YouTube. So if you guys want to join into the conversation, the link is already in the comment section
Yes.
on LinkedIn, and I'll post it here in
Very
just
cool.
a little bit. And let's get right into the conversation. I see Gary and Gregory has already joined us. Hello, gentlemen. How you guys doing today?
Hello, hello.
Hello. Can you hear me?
You're good to go, Gary. How things going with you?
Just chilling, listening to your show.
Chilling like a villain, right?
Yep.
All right, very good, very good. Gregory, how you doing today, sir?
I'm doing great. I'm getting ready to head out to Nevada for the next 6 weeks.
That's right. You got your autonomous vehicle training you got to do. Do you not?
That's correct.
And what's the
Nice. I've
training
been
for?
seeing a lot of the posts, man. They've been doing viral things. I love it.
Hey, Greg,
So,
what's the training for?
so I'll be going out to Las Vegas to get training on operating the robo taxi and how to basically do the technical support. Um, Kind of like the basics of operating the vehicle and stuff, so that when I come back here to Austin, we're going to be starting up fleet operations here. So it's a new market, a new team. So we're just basically getting training on how the vehicle works and how to support it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Who's the make and the model on the vehicles you'll be using?
It's a newer company startup called Zoox,
How you spelling?
Zoox.
Mm-hmm.
They were recently purchased by Amazon, so they're part of the Amazon umbrella.
Cool. Very
Yeah.
nice. Okay. Now let me ask you on a humanitarian question. Are you comfortable letting a robot drive you anywhere? I mean, for that matter.
We'll find out. I mean, I am just as comfortable with letting a robot drive as I am with a stranger. I don't know how long they've been awake or how competent they are at driving, like getting into like an Uber or something like that.
Yeah, I see that point, but till they get the bugs out.
Well, that's part of the work that I'll be doing is like
Yeah, yeah,
helping collect data and refining the telemetry and the response systems and stuff. Yeah.
yeah. Connection's a little shaky.
And I'm looking forward to seeing what comes out of that after you come back, Greg, because I surely believe you got a lot to share and everything like that. But
Yep.
let's also welcome in
Congratulations.
our partner
Thank
here,
you.
bringing
Thank you.
humanity together, Keith, and also our pillar of strengths and values team lead, Monica. How are you guys doing today?
Hi guys, hi Chris, hello
Hello,
Gary, hi
hello.
Gregory, hi Keith.
Hello.
I'm doing well, thank you. How are you guys doing?
Doing well, doing well. Keith is doing, I'm sure, good because after yesterday's call, I guarantee you that Sierra probably went viral after yesterday's call. So, did she go viral yesterday, Keith? Did she not?
I don't even know what she's doing. What did you do, Sarah? Yeah, definitely a long night yesterday. And then let me see if I can actually it's connected. Hold on. I've been doing a lot of work on this. Is like a lot of stuff is happening here.
All righty, that's good to hear. Jesse with us again. Hello, Jesse. How you doing today, sir?
I'm doing pretty good. How's it going, everybody?
Hello.
Doing well, doing
Welcome.
well.
Thumbs up.
Nice to meet everyone. Nice to meet everyone.
All right. So
Cool.
let's get the conversation started, ladies and gentlemen, because we are, of course, talking about does conversation calls us to act in and of itself. So, Gregory, I want to go to you first on this and everything, because I truly believe having a conversation, number one, is a part of doing something, and number two, when we're in that conversation, does it really get us to a place in space that when you do hear something that's being said or it really resonates to your heart of hearts, it calls you maybe to even ask and maybe even say, hey, what if you was to see what I see in this kind of whatever dynamic that you have and everything like that? So I'll turn it up to you, Greg, and I'd like to hear from you.
Well, that's certainly kind of my journey and experience coming to BHT. When you and I had connected last year, right? A lot of what you had shared and were talking about with the vision and the mission, like really resonated with me. And so I wanted to know more. And through those conversations, I really felt I had something of value to contribute to the group, and saw once I was a part of the group, saw some areas where I could fill in some gaps and bring some additional value from my professional background as well as my passion for the humanitarian issues as well. So yeah, absolutely, conversations lead to action.
All right. Gary, what say you on that? Does conversations calls us to act? And how does that look like and mean to you, Gary?
Well, collectively, vibrations are compounded exponentially and add to the clarification of the mission along with the frequencies required to get us there, based on the fact that everybody is on the same page, everybody has the same energy, everyone has the same drive, and everyone wants to get there as bad as we do. So once you get the milestone of 1,000,000 and then 2 and so on, you know, it falls, it's always funny. It falls back to Wall Street. How many speedboats can you water ski behind at the same time?
Awesome.
So
I love that.
that's where I've been thinking lately on those things. You will
Awesome. Love
absolutely
it. Love
achieve your $1,000,000 milestone. Yeah.
it. Love it. Love it. Love it. So, on that note, Monica, what comes up to you when you do have a conversation with somebody and it does call you to act? How does that look like and mean to you, Monica?
So for me, actually, you can get an inspiration from someone easily. You might not know what sort of impact you can make to someone really when you act, obviously from the heart, definitely, and you're really authentic. You can inspire someone to take actions. Definitely, I've been inspired because by you to take actions in my life. So I feel like it's very it could be motivational, inspirational for sure.
Here.
Awesome. Awesome. And I want to go to you, Keith. What's your take on conversations that can lead us to act? What's in your experience? Because I know you've been at many different places in your life, but how's kind of shown up to you in those kind of ways on maybe those individual conversations or maybe in a group conversations? How's that played out for you?
I think it depends on the person that's the leader. It depends on their level of emotional intelligence, about how passionate they are about the actual topic itself, or if they're just actually reading a script. So it's like, how are they connecting with the person? Or are they the type of leader that's going to be more of a micromanager or my way or the highway and not really provide any type of recognition to the people that are on the team. Like, so I've seen it like in disaster responses where there's been leaders that have been more succinct, and it's just like, okay, you're going to go do this, you're going to do this and this and that, done. And if you're not at that level with them, they didn't even speak to you. I've had people that I worked with in the past, like on different missions from different agencies, that they wouldn't even like acknowledge that you're in the room with them because you're not at their level. You're not on the table of organization in that box over there. You're all the way at the bottom somewhere, and you mean nothing to them. So anytime that I got into a leadership role, when I was really fortunate to, I ensured that I set the stage properly and that everybody knew that I was approachable, that this is their time to actually speak up and to take this conversation that we were having and take it to action. So if somebody, like, for instance, they didn't have a place to sleep at night, or they didn't have a job to do and they're waiting around inside of their trailer or whatever they were staying, or the tent, we wanted people to speak up. So that makes that takes from the conversation you're having to action, to actually fixing the problem instead of just dragging it down for days and days, which could happen in a large scale disaster. So again, it's really about how you're setting the stage with the people that are there, and, making a sandwich. Like, it's always making sure, in the beginning of it, it's going to be great. Then you talk about all the bad stuff in the middle, and at the end of it, you're making it great too as well. So you're sending them home in a positive way out of the meetings, and then they're able to really, truly just take it forward to the next level.
Perfect.
Awesome. Love it. Love it. So, Jesse, what's your take on it too as well?
I think a conversation can make you act depending on what the needs are of the person that's asking the conversation. A lot of times people can actually be talking very fast or slow. So it's up to you to interpret what are the needs. Are they coming from a happy place, a sad place, a confused place? And are they asking you for feedback, or they just want a general reaction as far as you moving physically, or to motivate them with your words? Because leadership can cause action, which it should always cause action. And when someone's coming to talk to you, they want to get a reaction, but it's up to you to interpret what the words are that's actually being delivered to you, and try to be an active listener and use a little bit of discernment. A lot of times people can just be talking, but they don't really want you to say anything that's different from what they're actually doing. They just want you to move in the direction of the words that's actually being said to you. And so sometimes that can be confusing because we normally talk very fast, but we don't really spend time to think about what are the words coming out of them. And where's the environment that the person is in? A lot of times people are in chaotic environments or happy environments, and those words reflect that environment. So it's up to you to act responsibly and to use your ears and your discernment when you're listening to someone speak or project a particular mission to you, so you can actively and effectively get the job or the ideal done. That's my thoughts.
Love it, Jesse. Thank you so much. And Dina, I'm glad you're showing up. Now you got to show us that great piece that you were actually doing when we were talking about this very conversation Friday. Do you have that with you?
It's upstairs. Just give me a minute. I think it's upstairs.
No worries, though, but we would like to find out from you, though. We're glad that you're here. Is what does conversations that can call us to act, how does that look like and show up to you, especially coming from the place of the art world?
Oh, wow. Something comes to mind. Like, I have a friend that we like to talk about a certain topic called the gene keys. I don't know if any of you have ever heard of it, but it has to do with your soul mission, your soul purpose, and the energies that you move through in life. So when we talk about this topic of what are we here for, what are we meant to do, what are we feeling called to do, and we're talking about this thing that we're excited and join in spiritual unity about, all of a sudden I'm like in the middle of the grocery store talking to her, and I get this like download of like, oh my gosh, I just got it. And I could visually see this image of this creation that wants to be birthed through me. And it wouldn't have happened if we weren't talking about this topic that we're both so enthralled with. I don't know. Sometimes I don't use words correctly, so please, don't mind me. But I have a meaning of a word, but it's not really the same as everyone else. But on that note, that's my ADD coming in. So, but you don't need to. Do you follow me on that? It's like, so even it's not even always like visual art either. Like earlier, I was on the phone with one of my soul family brothers. He's like a brother from another mother, basically. And we talk about meditations and how we want to create meditations. And then all of a sudden we're talking about our ideas and what we want to create. And then boom. And we're like both now doing more meditations and recording meditations, and we're sharing them. And I inspired him to do some more. He inspired me to do some more. And we're sharing those meditations out. And, so yeah, so those are two examples.
Love it, love it. So then for me, and to give you guys a little bit of context of why this conversation is even happening right now, is on Friday, I had a person that I know who was actually on Clubhouse first thing Friday morning before I was going into work, and he was talking to a group of people that about dreams big enough and things of that nature. And then he was kind of sharing with the people in the room of what he was building, how he was building it, and everything. And he was doing it from a place of conversation that will lead to the opportunities and that call to action and everything in between, because he just truly believes it's there in and of itself. But the thing about because there's two ladies, and I forget their names, that was in the room, and they kept on doing it this way, and I want to get everyone's take on it. They kept on hounding him, saying, well, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? Because I believe they don't really get it in their mind that talking about something and having that spark of the power of what if come to fruition, that's a part of doing something in and of itself. And Michelle, love to hear from you, ma'am. And Chris, glad to see you're here. The link is in the description and also in the comment section. And I'll send it both to you guys here in just a little bit. But we're glad to have you guys here. We would love to have you on the call and everything like that. But I want to go to that point, though, everyone, is do we get stuck in the actual do versus what can actually be achieved? And I got to go to you, Keith, on that. What say you when it comes to that saying, hey, well, what are you doing? What are you doing? Or you just take everything maybe at face value and say, maybe for me to get to understand who they really are, I got to find out where they're coming from before we even get to the do.
Of course, yeah. You need to know who are the people that you're working with. So like, what is your skill set? What group are you in? Like, what's your background? So it's once you can understand exactly what they're comfortable with, then you can give them the tasks that they would have to do. You can't tell someone to go work on the GIS and start doing some story maps for you if they're not comfortable with even using a computer at all. So it's just understanding what their talents are and setting them up for success. So that's a major issue that we have, is just, we're just looking at people, we're browsing through their LinkedIn profile. We're like, oh yeah, I think they can do this. They said they do this. So they have this title. Oh, you're the CEO, you're a founder. Oh, you could do all that, I'm sure. And they're like, what the hell? I just started like yesterday. Like, this is brand new. I don't know anything. So it's like really just stepping back for a second and just letting somebody else talk. And it's just like you're stopping and just like you're suspending all judgment or biases that you may have based upon the title that you've heard, and just letting the person actually speak. So it's instead of you being egotistical and deciding for them, you're going to let them actually step into like that box of wherever they would like to be. And you're going to meet them for where they're at instead of trying to place them somewhere you need them to be.
And Jesse, what's your take on that?
I think in a situation like that where you have people who don't really know, or you don't really know who they are, and you're doing like a who, what, when, why, and where situation, I think you create the template for growth, and then you fit them into those pieces, and then you offer them guidance during each step. So by offering them guidance, that lets them know that you're confident in their abilities to learn, but you're not still sure about if they can do it on their own. But then you still give them examples of how we do it and what this title is and what the job is entailed. And if they cannot do it that way, we may nudge them away from that and put them into another position that actually fits their skill sets. Because usually everybody has a skill, but they're not really confident enough to speak on it or actively use it in a work environment or any environment in life. So we try to fit everybody in and not lose anyone. So that may be a situation where someone may be feeling demeaned because you're switching up the job performances or the job skill set for them. But we always try to fit everybody in there until they're ready. When they're ready to meet the job needs at that particular position, then we bring them back up. But we don't want to get rid of them or scuttle their growth or confidence. I used to work in a community center years ago, and my program director always said, create the program so everybody can fit into it, but allow them to grow into it, but not restrict them, but allow growth and guidance and mentorship. Because I think in anything you do, you need a mentor, whether it be for a month, year, day, or a decade. You still need someone to confer to because you can't always talk to yourself. I can do that all day myself, but sometimes I got to talk to somebody else too, just to say, Jesse, maybe that's not the right way to do it. And so I think it's important to have those type of sets and checks and balances or something like that.
And if I can, thank you, Jesse. And if I can add to that, I love that because you mentioned the word mentor, and I've been through many situations in large scale disasters, and if you think about it, just like in any disaster, the first person that's incident commander that's on is the first person on scene that arrives, and that could be a rookie cop, that could be someone that just started yesterday, and all of a sudden he is the commander. But then when somebody that has like 10 years, 15 years, however many years shows up, then he's now the commander. They keep taking over until you get the right people. I've been involved with multiple disasters where you have directors of one operation and you have a flop line where everyone's kind of shaky. They're doing the best that they can do. They may be just they're in a position which is really a stretch position, and they're learning and growing, but it's not really the time because, there's chaos going on and disaster, and you need to make sure you're out there and you're being a good steward of the donor dollar too as well. So then what happens is, in the best situation, is the operations merge. Of course, that's going to happen. And you're going to have the people that have the actual qualifications that are based upon the standardized doctrine to lead those roles. But then you're going to allow mentorship opportunities for the people that you've been building them up, right? So you're going to put them in there so they can understand exactly what it's like, and you can get them at least they can play. Let them play, let them learn, let them grow, and they can have someone there that's really going to take it if it doesn't go well. It's not on them. They're there just understanding, like, to say, hey, listen, is this really for me? And sometimes what happens is because they've realized that it may be too much, or maybe it's too little. Maybe they're like, this isn't even challenging enough. No, I don't even want this. I kind of like what you were doing over there. So it gives them the opportunity to be able to be cross-trained, but also to be brought up in a manner where they're going to feel more confident when they're allowed to go on once they're fully qualified. So I think that the mentorship aspect of it is really important in anything that you're doing. Instead of just throwing somebody out there into the wolves or trial by fire, just give them that opportunity where they can have another person that's going to hold on to them. And I've seen it different ways too as well, where people have been placed into like a table of excuse me. This hopefully by next week I'll be great. But I've seen people placed in like table of organizations that, in a box, and then other people are calling them from outside and thinking that they're actually ready to go, and they're not. So it's like, then what happens? Then they start calling everybody. They're phoning a friend. And I think that that's an important thing too as well. So whatever we're doing, it's really to establish that network, the people that we can trust, that we can have those phone a friends, and that we're going to be able to reach out if we do need support, because that way, when we feel like we're falling, we can take a breath for a second. We could pause. We could stop and we could think about the scenario, write it down exactly what do we need or what is a desired outcome, and then call the person that could actually help us in this scenario instead of just trying to sit back and thinking like the world is over. The world's not over. Maybe for that particular moment, you're going to get past it. But it's how you treat those moments, though. You know, I've seen people that have reacted in such a negative manner because they let their stress get to everyone. If they get a negative phone call, all of a sudden that energy, that negative energy is going to everybody on the whole entire team, and everybody's feeling it because they felt it. Now they're scared, they're worried. Their shield is going up, their ego, their insecurities, all that other stuff is happening right now. Everyone's playing in the same exact room. But it's so important for you personally to understand where you're at before you jump into any type of position. And that way you can see exactly who you need to be around to really fill up your cup.
I love that. Greg, what's your take on that so far?
Well, I think Jesse and Keith really touched on what I wanted to comment on, right? Kind of right sizing the resource to the job, right? But also having help and mentorship available, but also allowing someone to be challenged and to rise to the call and to grow, right, in some sort of way. So yeah, absolutely agree with that, and support what they said 100%.
Monica, what shows up for you right now?
So for me, actually, I feel like it's all down to our self-limiting beliefs and how much we allow ourselves to grow and expand. And it's quite fascinating because obviously procrastination, we quite often think that, oh, we do procrastinate, but it might be sometimes the intuitive nudge that this is not for you. It's not challenging enough and you need to try something else. So we need to really understand who we are, how we wired, and then we can tackle anything. But just understanding really how you work and how to go about stuff is crucial, I feel.
Love it, Monica. Love it. But I want to take this to a little bit of a different direction, and I want to pose this question to Gary. Gary, from a human connective standpoint, when we get into conversations that thus cause us to act in one way, shape, matter, or form, do we make it about us and us alone, or do we actually look and see for the opportunity for where it really is there lying in, from a place not only of learning, not only of growing, and also seeking out something that's going to really change maybe even the course of our direction in life and maybe those around us? Is that the way you kind of really take a conversation from your point of view? Is that what you do?
So let me get back to you on that. I'm with my client right now. The timing of it is just perfect. I want to give you a feedback, but give me like 5 minutes and circle back.
Sounds
to you,
good.
okay?
Well, we'll take that. But I'll pose that question over to you then, Dina. Is that the way you kind of pose a conversation in and of itself? Is the one to really learn something, make it about others and not about you, and see the opportunity there within, not only for yourself, but also for others?
I feel that, yes. I feel like a lot of the collaborations I do are about like how to be of service. And even listening to all of you, you reminded me of a specific scenario where, like, say I will want to do a video, a live where I'm offering a service, and we'll be talking about, well, what are we offering and how is this going to benefit others? Are we doing it just because we want to do it, because we think it's going to be fun? Or are we doing it because we actually want to benefit others? And then working together to play to each other's strengths of like, well, how can I grow from this? Like, how can I stretch from this? Am I going to allow myself to be seen differently and expand? And like, say if my comfort zone is not writing, but my comfort zone is talking, maybe I will volunteer to say, well, let me work on writing the description, you know what I mean? Or they ask the other person, will you, if your strength is writing, maybe you can do the writing, but help me with the writing. You know what I mean? Like, how can we make it work beneficially all the way around?
Love it, love it. And for me, and I kid you not, I was actually in the reverse many, many, many years ago. I always thought a conversation in and of itself, whether to be at work, whether to be at home, whether to be at the grocery store, I literally had to distance myself to connect for whatever one reason I had at that time, and I don't know why. The only way, the way I really come to flipping the switch, so to speak, is I didn't want to be disconnected anymore. And for me to really be connected to somebody, I really wanted to go outside of myself and again see what I can learn, see what I can be a part of, see of the opportunity there within, see what can actually be built, literally and figuratively, building a bridge to and with people to where transformation can occur for all involved. And like I said, when I had that light bulb moment go off in my head, I knew that was the very turning point of in my direction, not only in my life, in the way we're building out, bringing humanity together, the way I'm having my relationship with my wife, to how I have relationships at work, and everything in between. And when you do have that and to lose, then there's the most freeing experience. I kid you not, ladies and gentlemen, that you can literally say, hey, I am not going to be this way anymore. Well, why? Well, because I choose the power of the choice. And that choice really matters because, again, what's the root word of decision means? That means to cut off. And like I said, when I really saw that I was cutting myself off from so much in and of itself, not only from a place of human connectivity, but really of, again, learning, into listening, into growing, and everything in between. And then again, when I've got past that, then next thing you know, that bridge was not only being seen by me, I truly believe, ladies and gentlemen, it can be also be seen by others and everything. So I just truly believe that is there. And of course, as always, go big and go home with Michelle. Hello, Michelle. How are you doing today?
I'm good. Can you hear me?
You're good.
I got here. The steam yard is the steam yard. Yeah, nice to be here, you guys. I know it seems like this time of day, there's a couple days that I'm going somewhere, but it's going to be school year's ending, so it won't be a problem. But yeah, I'm glad to be here. Glad to see all you guys, my family, my tribe. How's everybody? Good?
Doing well, doing well. Can't complain. But I gotta ask you though on today's topic, because I know you got a lot to share on this, Michelle. When we make conversations with people, no matter where they're at, whether to be in business or in life itself, can we have those conversations in and of itself that cause us to act? And maybe we can do it in a way that we're not really focusing on the do, we're focusing on the very opportunity. Is that the way you see it as well?
First part of the question, can you hear me?
You're good.
Okay. What was the rest of the question? You said when you make connections and then what go on? Sorry.
I said when you get into a conversation and you really wanted to be one of not only of opportunity, but you really are making about not yourself, but really of others. Do you see the opportunity in within and be able to say, I'm not worried about the do, so to speak, right now. I'm worried about the opportunity that can be had for all involved. Do you see that as well?
Yes. I liked what Keith said earlier. I was listening. I really liked what he had to say. So, it's all with practice, right? But when I come from a place of giving, or when I'm just kind of connected, because it's my number one core value.
She will come back here in just a second. Hopefully, it's just only a little dead spot because I know she was on a roll. So, and Dina's back. I see that. So, as we're waiting for Michelle to come back, Dina,
Do you want me to pick up?
there it is. I love that. She actually worked on that last Friday, ladies and gentlemen. Can you share with us what's that picture?
Oh, this is a painting of Kuan Yin. She's the divine feminine goddess of compassion, and she's sitting in her lotus, and she's just, exemplifying just beingness, just being and receiving. And then there's a tree over here with a little tree being, and it's just really the energies of just groundedness and just, I just was in the flow. I don't even remember what I was in. I wasn't thinking when I paint. I'm not really thinking. I'm just allowing. And, just to be on your point of earlier about like the doing and the inspiration and everything, sometimes it's just like there's a step in processing the information that's coming through and being conversed, and getting a moment to like talk things through. Like I feel like Keith was saying, of being like, oh, I can step into this role, I can step into that role, but we don't know if we don't do it at the same time, right? And so I don't even know sometimes how I paint these paintings. I just do them. Oh, there's an idea, and then let me go with it and see what happens. Anyway, so that's all I have to say on that.
And I'm liking the way this is being done and everything. I just truly believe that, like I said, when we allow awesome opportunities that can present themselves in and of itself, that gives us an opportunity, again, like I said, one of we can learn, one we can grow, one we can thrive, and it's all there. And Michelle's back. Michelle, you are on a roll, ma'am. You got to pick up and keep that roll going, man. I loved it.
So my phone got too hot. It said temperature. It's 90. It's only 91, but it said too hot. I'm like, you're kidding me, right? It's not even that hot. Anyway, I'm so sorry. I apologize.
You're good.
I mean, I guess really in a nutshell, when I don't think about the outcome, right, and I'm going to come from a place of heart, doesn't know anything. It's my heart. The outcome is always very beneficial for me. And what comes out of that is magic. I really do believe, especially for the people in our arena or our collective. I think a lot of us are helpers. We want to take a bite out of helping the world, and we want to help people and so forth. But for a long time, we didn't really know.
Maybe it's the Matrix, because the Matrix has grabbed Michelle, and I hate when technical difficulties do arise. But like I said, Michelle, we would love to hear from you when you get out of the Matrix and everything. But let's go over to Gary. But Gary, I know you're back. But like I said, I know you had that client that you had to talk to in just a few minutes ago. But like I said, when we have conversations that matter, and if we can make it about others and not about us, when you get
I find what I found I'll give it to you in a nutshell, very simply, is the environment for making connections is totally changed from when I was coming up in the 60s and 70s. And Keith, you know, the three of us have had this same, and Gregory's on board with this, just based on our age chronologically, for a different type of mentality going into a value relationship. I'm old school, and I try to blend the mentality of old school, belly to belly, eye to eye. And the handshake is so important when you meet someone. Now you could manipulate that through haptics, technologically, but like I said, I'm old school. I would love to go to Phoenix, Arizona, and meet with all these people that I met with virtually that are always getting together on these social events. High connectors, high value connections. But right now I'm restricted to, based on geography, being on screens. So you really can't get a feel for making value relationships. Since I lead with 100% gratitude every day, as you know me, Chris, and you know me, Keith, I lead with 100% gratitude. If you're not having fun, you're not working for me. So I'm a different sort. I'm the one to find the common ground, make a value relationship, and run to the bank and take no prisoners. Drop the mic.
I love that. Thank you so much, Gary. Greatly appreciate you. And Margaret's now joined us. So we got two people on the move. We got Michelle and Margaret. I got to ask you, ladies, are you guys going to the same place or what?
We're always going to the same place. It just may not look
That's
like
right, sweetie. Yep.
All righty. Well, we're glad that you're here again, ladies, and everything. But I'm going to go back to you, Margaret. I mean, not Margaret, but Michelle, because again, you're on a roll yet again. So let's let you get your thought finished and everything like that. Because, like I said, you're on a roll for the second time.
I'm careful what I say with the universe. Not our universe, another universe. Anyway, no, I just really wanted to say everything is heart-centered for me. And I think when I don't think about it and I just connect with my people and I just kind of move, things are thrown at me very quickly. And like whether you call them downloads or intuitive thought or in the right place at the right time, I think if we for me, I follow that. I actually live by that now, because what's happening is, like I said, I don't know if you heard, but it's magic. For me, it's magic. And there is no goal or outcome, but that comes anyway. You know what I mean? That's the stuff anyway. And it's a great way to live. And most of us have to go through quite a bit of adversity to land there from the heart. But that's why the go big or go home, because it's kind of like the best kept secret to me. And without that, I couldn't do what I'm doing. And I'm excited about every day in a very different way than my whole life. And having conversations with friends about kids and about narcissism and this today. And I'm like, oh my God. And here I am at the high school. I never thought I would be here teaching for 1 day a week. Like I have teenagers. Well, they're older, but God no. So, you know, I just keep showing up and stepping into who I am, not who I thought I was, but it's all from the heart and connected. And I have wonderful people in my life today that loved me till I could love myself, and continue to give that back.
Love it, Michelle. Love it. Love it. Thank you so much, ma'am. I greatly appreciate you. And we actually are just willing to, like I said, take the internet and say, internet, stay away for a little bit. No drop calls, no dropped internet. We got to get things rocking and rolling here. So
And
we greatly appreciate
it's messing up
you,
for me too,
Michelle.
Chris. I was trying to paste something in there, and I'm going to paste the second part, but this conversation actually made me think of something that happened. This was in the 2020 wildfire season, and there was probably only 4 or 5 people that were in person for like a I was a director of a $7 million operation. And I was sitting in an EOC area by myself, basically, with one person monitoring client-assisted cards, and other people were working from hotels, and everybody else was out in the field because we were doing COVID. But I just put into the chat a message that I had received from someone that I didn't even know, someone that was just on one of the jump teams, that, you know, it's like how we could actually really truly like inspire people, that they were looking forward to the quality of the reports that we were putting out. And when we were putting things out, it wasn't just like you are going to go over here and then you're going to go do this and do that. Like every single day, my reports were like you're watching like TV. Like literally, like everybody thought I was applying for like CNN or the Weather Channel. Like I went through everything. I put together full scale reports about all the data, visualizations. I made story maps with ArcGIS and just made them feel really powerful. So it's like, it's those little things that you can actually do for people in their time of need, when like everything is hitting the fan. When we had multiple fires burning throughout the whole entire Northern California, and we had 30 or 40 different hotels or more hotels occupied with people working with the state and all different organizations, and we were still able to make people feel satisfied and make them feel good. The most amazing part about that is that I knew that people were feeling disconnected at the time. So I called upon my Humans First crew, and they actually, I'm going to find this video. They came through. They made a video even for everybody, and we did a series where it was once or twice, actually twice a week, that everybody was able to come together. And it was just amazing that people were able to go into breakout rooms to talk about what they were feeling, about the distance, about not being together during one of these large scale disasters. And we were able to really make them whole based upon their needs. So just thought I would share that message that I winded up getting. And that's just something that's the proof. And sometimes, again, depending on who you are, you're going to be dealing with people throughout your life that are going to be the total opposite of you. And you have to be able to take that, because their criticism of you is going to be crazy. It's going to be like you're like the worst in the whole entire world. But you have to be ready to just pour into other people. And just because you're doing that and you're doing that authentically, you're going to rise to the top. People are going to remember you regardless of whatever title you are in that table of organization. Your personal power is going to morph like anything else that's out there. So there's nothing else that can compete with your personal power based upon you actually showing up with the proper level of emotional intelligence. So that's all I'm saying, is just like when you actually figure out who you are, what your skill set is, and how you can make that impact, be prepared for the positive and the negative of it, because you're going to get both. Not everyone's going to love you, but if they don't love you, well, oh well, that's good for them.
Yeah,
That's amazing,
exactly.
Keith. Actually, it reminds me that you have to be in the right place at the right time, and you can make an impact, a huge difference. You can learn from one another, actually, or the universe puts you in some, obviously works in a mysterious way, and puts you in the right place, the right time. So that's amazing. Well done.
And when I did this, I had resigned from my role, and I was deployed for 72 days as a volunteer for free. I stuck out that operation. I came in as like a generalist, and then I was like the AD, assistant director of planning, then I was deputy director, then I was director of a $7 million operation, all for free. And everyone's like, are you crazy? You quit your job? You would have been making money. And like, I'm like, no, I'm staying because I knew it. I knew all the details, and I wanted to stick it out. And the worst part of an operation is the last director, because you're getting all that stuff that fell through the cracks. So it's dealing with all the different public health agencies that are out there because of COVID cases and people traveling and different stuff like that. It was just very crazy. But again, we all have the capabilities of rising to the occasion. We just have to really we have to take a step back for a second, evaluate the situation that we're going to get ourselves into, and say, yes, you got it. You can do this.
Yeah, and Keith, if it wasn't for Humans First, me and you probably wouldn't even be on this call today and everything.
Nope.
Yep. And see, that's proof positive yet again, because Keith knew about bringing humanity together even back in 2017. And when we did have those calls in Humans First, it really proved positive that we can do something far greater than of ourselves and everything. That when we did have those breakout rooms, it was deep and meaningful. It was a way to really connect, even though he was in California, I was in Florida. And yes,
Man, I was
granted,
in Iowa. I was in
oh,
Iowa at the
Iowa, yeah,
time.
yeah. That's when you were in
I
Iowa.
was an Iowan.
Yeah, but still, even that being the case, we were still kind of locked down in our homes, and we say we wanted to connect, and this is what we are going to do. And again, thank you for sharing that again, Keith, because we're going to have that very platform here again at Bringing Humanity Together. We will do that because I truly believe those connections are deeply meaningful when we truly go past and beyond what we are wanting to have and everything, because a conversation can lead into something much far greater. But I want to pose this question to everyone and everything. And Gregory, glad your internet's back and working. And we just need to tell StreamYard, bye bye, you got to go and everything. But Gregory, I want to go to you. And then, like I said, this question is for everybody and everything. When we do see that opportunity, do we actually are hesitant in taking it? Because if we take it, and I'm going to put this out there in this kind of way, and we seize upon it, do we kind of get afraid of someone else is going to one up us in and of itself? Or, and again, maybe this also comes to pass, get us in a place of disconnect because they're going to say, hey, I'm one upping you because of my title, my position, my authority, or whatever the case may be. But do we actually see the opportunity for what it really stands for if we can maybe get past all that, Gregory?
That's great that you brought that up, because I wanted to include in the discussion not necessarily the other side of the coin, but speaking to what you just mentioned, right? Not being afraid to fail or to make a mistake, right? Sometimes that limits us into moving forward or taking action because we're worried about a negative outcome. But when we are able to see past that, right, and even kind of reframe making a mistake as, just a part of the process and an opportunity to learn and grow from it, right, that helps us with making decision to take action, right? And you mentioned, worrying about maybe being compared or competing with others. I think in the right environment, in the right room, that type of mentality and mindset just doesn't exist, right? It should be a collaborative effort, should be a supportive effort, right? And we should be actively seeking those groups, those opportunities where diversity is welcome and embraced, right? And championed, right? And everyone has value, right? And the collaborative process helps people in areas where they may be um, less skilled or less capable, right? To help develop those areas for improvement while letting the areas where they are extremely talented shine and give them moments. Absolutely. So I often talk about when the subject of failure or the fear of failure comes up, I always mention James Dyson, right, as an example, who went through like over 4,000 prototypes of his vacuum before he got even close to the product that we see on the shelves in stores, right? It was actually more like 5,000, but definitely 4,000. And, when we think about scientific method, right, failure is just part of the process, right? Learning where the edges are, where the limitations are, and being able to learn from that, adapt to it, and readjust, right? That's how personal records are set, right? Finding where our limits are and then being able to improve past those. And sometimes, failure is the objective, right? When we are exploring new areas and new ideas and new concepts, we need to first see where the limitations are before we can push past those. Absolutely.
Dina, your thoughts?
Yeah, there's so much there. Like, yeah, so my thoughts on this is that that area of the fear of failure, fear of messing up, fear of making mistakes has been definitely a part of my story and stories that I've been working through both in my career and my art. And like, just so you know, I am technically working right now. Like, please, no, I'm working. Okay. My full-time job while I'm like listening and I'm hearing. And, but the thing is the point that I'm trying to make is I don't always get to the point right away, by the way. So there's that. But, uh, art, my non-working 9 to 5 time, I get to go play and experience and make mistakes and be able to like allow myself to, excuse my French, F up, right? And then be like, oh, look at how this F up made a beautiful piece of art because I just went with it and I allowed it and I saw the opportunity in it of like, oh, okay, I can work with this. But because of that, and then with work, depending on how my managerial, the people I work with, look at, and I choose to look at a mess up or a mistake, it used to feel like the end of the world, like, oh my God, I want to get fired. And so that fear also then propelled me to do a lot of inner work on myself, a lot of personal growth on myself so that I could overcome the limiting beliefs of like, oh my God, so much stress that would happen because of that. So, by the way, I think I mentioned I have ADD. So I lost track. So working in mainstream work is challenging for me. However, it offers me the opportunity to grow through the mistakes and being able to find solutions of working around things with my neurospicy brain. So I feel like being able to work with different people that have different kinds of brains that can see things through different perspectives, if we all come together and we can like be open and honest of like, I feel a limitation in this, and then being able to see another way around it is what's been really helpful. Did I lose you in that?
No, you did not. You did very well, as always, Dina.
So thank you. Yeah. Like I said, I work on my getting to the point, but there's always a connection. There's connecting. So, and I think that's what you're talking about is like being able to connect and seeing where the gifts are and where the challenges are, and being able to team people up so that we can like magnify and elevate and elevate. Yeah. Okay. Yep. Putting the mic down now. Thanks.
You're good. You're good. And Margaret is back. Hello, Margaret. How you doing? Hopefully she hears us, because I guess the interwebs didn't like her, but that's okay. We'll bring her back in and of itself when she comes back. But I want to put this out there to everyone, and it really kind of hit home for me when Dina was saying about the dynamic of play. And I want to put this out there before we end our call. Do we actually get in a state of play when we are having those great and deep and meaningful conversations? Because then when we get so excited, we can't contain it. It really takes us to another level. So, Jesse, do you see a conversation can not only be playful in nature and open up that great sandbox that we all want to play in, but then take us to that next level?
I think that's true, because when you're talking to someone about a mutual conversation or a mutual idea, it just captivates you, and you're just like, okay, what about this idea, that idea? You keep adding more pieces to that puzzle, and as you add more pieces to that puzzle, you can see the person that you're talking to gets excited because you see the light in their eyes, and the light in their eyes like that fire for you too, and it keeps you going because you always want to add more to a project when you have a rhythm. When you have a good rhythm, you don't want to stop, even if it's like late or you're tired. That idea, you have that childlike energy, like you said, and it takes care of everything. You don't even want to eat or sleep because you just feel it, because you know if you stop now, you're done. So I think having that childlike enthusiasm for any particular idea and just driving it in and being so passionate about it, it changes the entire outcome of the conversation. I think a childlike enthusiasm is what's needed when you're talking to someone, even for the first time, because the first 3 words are the things they're going to think about. Besides the way you dress, of course, but the first 3 words really decides if the conversation is going to go left, right, up, or down. I think having enthusiasm can get you so far when it comes to expressing an idea, and then the detail comes later, but the enthusiasm is what can draw someone. People love passionate people who are willing to just go into it and do whatever it takes. So I think childlike energy is like the most important thing with anything that you really care about the most. That's my thoughts.
Monica, I believe this is right up your alley, is it not?
Yes, it is. That was beautiful, Jesse. I just feels like, but you can't fake it really. Childlike energy, it comes from within, and it's truly you in that vulnerable state when you are truly in your soul, and you can't fake it. You just be natural. You just be, you are vulnerable, and you are being authentic. So whatever you do that sets your, soul in fire, that's the right thing to do. When you feel that enthusiasm, when you feel that inspiration, that passion for what you do, you can really, it's pretty captivating, as you said, but others can see it too. And it's like times flies. But I really love what Gregory said before about the boldness and about the failure. Because what is confidence? The confidence is to be bold enough to really to fail. So it's just to allow yourself to fail, because when you fail, you learn from that failure, and then obviously next time you can adjust your trajectory, and you're successful. So yeah, thank you.
I love that. And see, when you really think about it, that enthusiasm can be contagious, and that causes us to really maybe get into our inner child and into wonderment and the endless parts of imagination. And I truly believe all that can be there, and we just simply to show up. So Margaret is now back. Hello, Margaret. How are you doing today, ma'am?
I am blessed. I can't complain. Sorry. So my phone overheated.
So now we're 2 for 2 for phones being overheated. Both Michelle and yours. There we go.
For real, yeah, like it's 90 degrees out here.
So Margaret, I gotta ask you,
Yeah.
does conversation that calls us to act, is that a place and space that we're not really focusing on the do, but those conversations in and of itself gets us to that point that not only does it call us to act, but we can play in it, we can build sandboxes, we can build so much into that in and of itself. What shows up for you when you get into a conversation? Are you just solely focused about the do, or are you really looking for the opportunity there within?
Well, it's not just the do, but well, first of all, if anybody has ever gone into any of my events and heard me speak, I'm speaking to everybody. I'm speaking to humanity, and I'm speaking from my heart, and I'm speaking truth. So to me, I feel you have to come with your heart 110%. You have to give it your all, and I took a business communications class in college, and that really helped me out a lot to deal with adversity and deal with like different types of situations that we have with people, and how are you going to deal with it? Are you going to be a part of something, because not everybody's going to agree with you. I'm sorry, but they're just not everybody's going to like you. That's just how it is, right? You're not going to like everything, but you have to. Yeah, exactly. What Keith is doing, Gumby. You have to think like Gumby or like Kitty,
We
But
say
you
Semper
do. You
Gumby,
have
Semper
to.
Gumby, okay?
you have to do, you have to give it your all. You have to be true to you. You can't think of anything else or anybody else or what the
Yep.
obstacles are, because the world's going to be the world. The world's going to
Yep.
do what the world does. And everybody who is not in the same mindset, if they're sick, if they're not eating the right foods, if they're not doing the right things, then, and if they're lost or whatever the case may be, what do you expect? Like, for real. I mean, why should you expect anything less?
And
The only thing you have to do is yourself.
it,
Come, bring all of you.
yeah, yeah, and I love that. And see, Margaret, it comes up right back to me what we talked about. Maybe it was a couple of weeks ago. The perception leads us down a road of deception, and again, that goes right into expectation. If we are expecting a conversation to be X, Y, and Z to get to 1, 2, 3, and we just take it for just that alone,
Yeah.
are we going to really get there? Because we're already, in one way, shape, matter, or form, is predetermining the outcome of what we want, not what we all should be able to grow and strive from. Because again, the shortest distance between 2 points is maybe a straight line. But see, even within a conversation, when you really think about it, to get to the quickest result may not be that very straight line in and of itself. Maybe it does take that turn and you have to pivot. It may does take that opportunity and may it should be shown to Jesse in this way, but then again, it shows to Dina in a different way, but yet they can still come to it from a place of alignment and agreement, and just let that even be for what it is. Because if you only deem it to only be one way, what is it always going to be? It's either my way or the highway.
One
and
way.
Everything. I truly believe, Margaret, if we can let go of that and say the expectation level is not to even have one at all, maybe that's where we should start it from.
Yeah. But, I feel like I agree with you, Chris, but I feel like why have any expectations really? Or, you have to think of, you have to, it's bigger than us. It's about all of us, and it's for us, and it's for them. It's for everybody. You know what I mean? Like, there's no competition. I'm sorry. There isn't a competition. Okay. It's either one mind, one for all for one. There's reasons why those words were said, those phrases and everything. It's because people do have, and we just have to remember what we're all in here for. What are we really doing? What do we want to do? What do we want to achieve? We are a voice. We all have to remember that we all want the same result in the end.
Yep.
And that's for humanity. It's not about self. We have to stop thinking about me, self. It's not about me. It's not about you. It's about all of us and everyone, globally. But that's just my mindset. That's how I think of it. I can't tell anybody else what to think, but that's what I'm coming in with, And,
but Margaret, I truly believe, though, if we can still take them for who they are and see them for who they are, that's all that matters, because we're willing to show up to that.
Yeah.
I
love you guys.
Yeah, I love that, Margaret. That was really great. I loved it. Thank you so much.
Gregory.
So it is not that time. We're on overtime yet again. Overtime sometimes is where you actually win out the day, because you'll kick that down that kick. I'm trying to say kick that touchdown, but you can't kick that touchdown. You got to throw that touchdown. You got to throw that touchdown for that pass.
When I played soccer, Chris, we went into sudden death, and then that was like
okay.
overtime.
We're going to sudden death. There we go. I love that.
Whoa.
But Keith, let's go to our final thoughts and close out this great and engaging call, because I truly believe there's going to be a part 3 to this and everything that. So over to you, sir.
No, I just wanted to thank everyone for showing up today. We have plenty of changes that are going to be happening to the website soon. If you go to the website underneath the community page, oh my God, Keith, stop coughing. Underneath the community page and underneath the
Drink
Underneath the
honey.
impact partner page, you're going to see like a welcome letter that's going to tell you ways that you could get engaged with our organization and ways that you could also support it.
I'm already married.
Happen. So, what happened?
He doesn't want to get engaged.
That's fine. You don't need to get it. Listen, and if anyone does want to get engaged, I am a minister with Universal Life Church Ministry since 2006. So listen, I could do this. I just got to register. I'll get the little nice certificates, and we can do this. Don't worry about it. Forget about it. So, but anyway, we have a lot of work that we're working on with our leadership team right now. We have 6 different documents that we're putting out there for review, which will be up and running by tomorrow. But again, we have our community letter and our impact letter that's currently on the website right now and live. Just keep looking at it. And if you see anything that we should update, please let us know. And sorry, Gary, we're not going to get you engaged. It's fine.
Really?
But engage
no
with
skydiving
us,
for
okay?
me. They've been trying to get me to skydive now for like about 2 years. That's my ongoing joke. Ain't happening, Jackson.
I'll go with you.
Awesome. So yes, I've already put their website into our social media comment section. So please go check that out. And first and foremost, ladies and gentlemen, for everyone who has been here today, Michelle and Jesse and Monica and Gary and Margaret and Gregory and Keith and Dina, we just are so humbled and honored that you're a part of this great and growing community and movement that is bringing humanity together. But I truly believe, ladies and gentlemen, the time is now to come together.
I'm here to serve, my man. I'm here to serve. That's it.
We have plenty of opportunities for you to serve. Don't worry about that. It's all on the website now. So please take a look and let's get it done.
Yep, exactly.
Thank you.
But see, here's my final thoughts, and like I said, I'll go really quick to Monica and Jesse and Gary and Dina and Margaret real quick. But my final thoughts is simply this: just show up. That's all you got to do. Just show up to the very conversation, and that opportunity will occur. It's not a matter of if; it's only a matter of when and how you do it. Because there's no one way or right way, or even a wrong way to even connect. Think about it. We getting so kind of tunnel visioned to saying that it's got to be a right way and one way to connect, and even a wrong way, right way to even have a conversation. There is no right way or wrong way. This is the way that it works for all involved, and what works best for all involved, and that's all it is. And I truly believe in that. So let's go around the room for our final thoughts. Monica, what say you?
Thank you, Chris. So it's great to be back with you guys. It's been such a pleasure. So I need to back on track actually with this calls. It just really reminded me the togetherness, oneness. It's a huge paradigm shift. So from self-centered people, we becoming the ones that obviously wants to embrace one another and learn from one another. So yeah, just embrace oneness and togetherness, guys. It's been beautiful.
Absolutely, 110%. Thank you so much, Monica. Dina, your final thoughts?
Dina.
Hi, it's so awesome how I already know some of you already before and engaged with you all. But I just wanted to say this. Look at this. So all of us are all the different leaves, and we're all coming together at the base and then all the love is filtered through and goes up the tree and back into the universe. So we're all parts of the one, cycling, connecting our energy, our thoughts, our wisdom, our skills all together. So that's
I love that.
It's all connected, Dina. It's all connected.
I don't know. God put me here. I'm here on a phone call. Nobody at work needed to message me, email me, or call me this whole time. Thank you. So thank you. I'm just so grateful that. Oh, and the last thing.
She's so adorable. I love Dina.
That's all. And if any of you want to directly connect with me, please reach out and schedule a one-on-one chat, please.
We're going to make that happen. It's not a matter of if, Dina. It's going to be a matter of when. That's all it is. So,
okay.
Thank you so much, Dina. Jesse, your final thoughts?
I just want to say thank you for having me, and it's great to be around all these individuals who have like minds and who really care about what they're doing, and they're bringing their hearts out through their voices. And that means a lot to me. I feel the warmth here, and I feel there's a community here that has the ability to change things for generations, not just for this particular year or the next 10 years. I think we have the ability to change things for decades, for 100 years, for 1,000 years, because all it takes is belief. For myself, I believe, and so everyone else around me believes, because I make my belief my crescendo, not my crescendo, my coat of arms. My belief system is my blood. It pumps through me each and every day. It drives me through every single obstacle or every challenge. That's the thing that gives me the power, and I see that in every single one of you, because all of you believe and you put your mind into it, you put your money to it, and you put your heart into it. And that's the thing that's gravitating me to this conversation today. And I like that. And I thank you all, and God bless you all today. Peace.
Thank you, Jesse. Greatly appreciate
Thank
you, sir. Like I
you.
said, we're just so humbled and honored that you want to be a part of this great and growing community and movement that is bringing humanity together. And we see great things happening. It's not a matter if, it's going to be a matter of when. Gregory, your final thoughts, sir?
I am reminded of the acronym used for team. Together, everyone achieves more. Right, and I think as a community, BHT exemplifies that. And as a mission, a rising tide lifts all boats.
Yep, 100%. I love that. Margaret, your final thoughts? And hopefully, Margaret will be right back real quick.
I said I'm coming. I was running. My final thoughts is just live long and prosper. Oh, I did it the wrong way. Hang on 1 second. Hang on,
Love
I'll
that.
get
There
it.
you go. Bring a
Live
little
long
spark into the
and
mix. There you
prosper.
go. Love it. Love it.
That's
Love
all I
it.
got.
Thank you so much, Margaret.
Thank
Yes,
you,
let's
everybody. Thank
definitely
you for
live long
showing
and
up.
prosper. Yes, I love that. Love that. Thank you so much. Gary, your final thoughts, sir?
You keeping the flame lit. You guys are carrying the torch. We're walking down that road to bring humanity, make it and be a resounding mouthpiece and a bullhorn to get the message out with deep levels and pockets of exposure. You want to get the message out. You really want to get the word out.
Yes, and we will, Gary. And we got that challenge from you, sir, and we're going to do that and everything. So we are, like I said, we're
You're
just so
getting there,
humbled.
my friend. I'm applauding your efforts. I'm applauding your efforts. I'm applauding your efforts.
Thank you, Gary. We greatly appreciate you. So, Keith, I truly believe we should let everyone know what's the best way they can contact me and you.
Smoke signal.
There you go.
$50.
Batman signal. I mean, so there's instructions on the website. So if you go on to, if you want to be in the part of the community or want to be an impact partner, it's going to give you specific instructions on what your next steps would be. And I would say to follow the instructions that are on the website. But if you would like to, you could always reach out by LinkedIn.
Yep.
Chris,
Keith is
do
on
you
LinkedIn
remember
and I'm
Soupy
on
Sales?
LinkedIn. We're all on LinkedIn. So reach out and connect.
Chris?
Absolutely. So
Do you
we
remember
greatly
Soupy
appreciate
Sales
that,
or no?
Keith.
Soupy
So,
Sales was one of my favorites. He was an innovator. He was before Pee Wee Herman. So what he did is he came on the TV when it was black and white, and he said, kids, don't tell your parents. Take $20, put it in an envelope, mail it to the station, and they did in droves. Of course, he got fired for that. And it's one of my all-time favorite stories about the wolf and the sheep kind of thing, and leaders, and and what can happen. He took advantage of little children.
Yep. I love that. Thank you so much, Gary. And again, we're wanting to have you all watching today, whether it be live or even on the replay. to be a part of what we're building here at Bringing Humanity Together. So please go to bringinghumanity.com. And like I said, go into that section on the website about becoming an impact partner or even a community member. We would love for you to be here, and we welcome you with open arms because the time is now to unite humanity, one conversation at a time, one opportunity at a time, or even that one conversation at a time that not only will call us to act, but call us to be inspired. So from all of us here at Bringing Humanity Together, an adaptive strategies group, Eat, Adapt, Grow, and now Stars for Humanity, we welcome you into our next conversation. So you guys have a great and awesome day. Make it your day. And we'll see you on the next episode of Sharing Care of BHT, the video experience. Tomorrow, they may not be a conversation for humanity because I've not been yet confirmed with our guest yet. So we may end up doing another part 3 to this. So I'll have to let you guys know. But we, like I said, we'll take that when it comes. So you guys have an awesome day. Have a transformational Tuesday. Make it your day, and we'll talk soon. Have a great one, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone. Have a
Thank
good
you,
one.
Chris.
Have a good
Thank
one,
you,
everyone.
Keith. Thank you,
you. Bye,
community.
everyone.
Thank you, Gregory.
Bye, everyone.